morning kids, how are you all? I hope you are great. I am Khushbu Patel from Saraswati Group of Education and today we are meeting for the last session of your chapter number 2, that is animals in their surrounding. Now kids, in the last session we have completed the explanation of this chapter. You have also received the chapter and worksheet. Yes, now today we are going to learn the textual exercise, that means the assessment zone, right, in which you have an objective portion as well as subjective portion, but all that we are writing in a one book, that is your classwork. So how we are going to write our classwork? Let's do that. Okay kids, so as we have completed the explanation of this chapter, we are moving to the classwork part. Now kids, as you know that after the hard words, you have to write the glossary portion. That means there are words which we have understood through hard word slides or maybe at the time of explanation. So the words and its meaning you have to write. Okay, so glossary portion you will write. Which are the words given here? Blowhole, camouflage, cuticle, forelimbs, hindlimbs, habitat, migration, proboscis, rodents, spiracles, talons and trachea. That means there are total 12 words given with its meaning. These all words we have understood via the slides or maybe during the explanation. So I hope you have remembered this. So first portion you have to write, that is the glossary. Okay? After that we are moving to the assessment zone. That means the textual exercise portion. Now kids, you know that we are going to write all the objectives and subjective parts in the classwork itself. So the first part, or you can say the first exercise, here it is fill in the blanks. Right. The first blank is a habitat provides blank, blank and blank. That means it provides food, water and shelter. Right. Second, blank is an aquatic animal. Now kids, in your textbook if you will see, certain words are given in the bracket. From that word only we have to choose the correct answer for the correct blank. So there are so many aquatic animal, but in the bracket duck is given, right? There is a one help box given in the textbook. So in that one animal is there, that is duck, right? So which is considered as what? Aquatic animal. Third one, a tiger has sharp blank to catch its prey. Right? Prey means shikar. Right? What do tiger have? Tiger have a very sharp claws, right? Through which it is catching its prey. Okay? Fourth one, an earthworm breathes through its blank. We know that earthworm is a small worm which is living under the soil. So they are breathing through its skin, right? Next, blank migrate in large number to escape the drought. Now at the time of explanation, I told you what is the meaning of drought. Drought is a condition where there is no rain, right? Dukad. So in Africa, in a summer season, right, after that when monsoon starts and if there is a less water or no water, so there will be a condition of drought. So the antelopes will migrate from that place to the area where they can get the sufficient water, right? So that was our A section. Moving further to the B section, that is state true or false, right? We just have to write whether the given statement is true or false. The first one, animals that live on trees are known as arboreal animals. Right. Now see kids, this statement can come in both the category. That means true also and false also. If we say birds, yes, they live on trees, but they also fly. Right. So they are considered as aerial animals. But here the statement is given that the animal which is living totally on the tree, that means they are spending most of their life on the tree. So they are what? Arboreal animals. Yes. So this statement is true. Next, water insect use flippers to swim. Do you remember who uses flippers? Yes, penguin. Right. But water insect use their legs to swim. So this statement is false. Next, birds migrate to warmer places in winters. Yes, we know that birds can do migration because they need proper temperature, maybe they need proper food, or maybe they require certain proper condition to give a birth. Right? So this statement is also true. Next, eagles have very poor eyesight. It is totally false. Why? Because eagle can see from a very height. Right? They can see from very long distance. They can see from height. So we can't say that they have a poor eyesight. They have a very good visibility capacity. They have very good eyesight. Right? So this statement is what? It is false. Next, a rat is a rodent. We know what is the meaning of rodent. Rodent means, yes, kotri ne je khata hoy te. So rat is considered as what? Rodent. So the statement is of course true. Moving further to the C section, which is answer in one word. What is the first one? An animal that migrates annually. Annually means once in a year, right? Especially winter season. So the name of that animal or a bird, you can say that is Siberian crane. There are so many animals who is migrating annually. You can write any one, but here I have written Siberian crane. Right? Moving further to the second one. An animal that eats only plants. We know that because we have studied this in the first lesson also. So the answer is herbivore. Right? The third one. An animal that has fur. Right? We know that fur is giving a protection to the animal living in the cold region. Right? So they can withstand with the cold temperature. There are so many like Arctic fox, polar bear. Right? So here I have written polar bear. Next, an aerial animal. Aerial animal means animal which can fly. And we all know most of the birds can fly except few birds like emu, ostrich. Right? So here I have written all birds. Fifth one, an animal that has cuticle. We know what is the meaning of cuticle. It's a waxy coating around the bodies of some animals. Right? And the animals which have a cuticle are bees, ants. Right? So this was our C section. Moving further to the D section is circle the odd one. Here 4 animals are given in a row. You just have to identify which one is different. But how can you identify it? Only if you have understood the chapters thoroughly. That means you have to see that animals are herbivores, carnivores or omnivores. maybe they have some similar movement method, maybe they have some similar breathing method, or anything else. So one is dissimilar, that you have to circle out. So the first one is fish, crocodile, ship and snake. Right? If you will see here, it is based on their movement. Right? Okay. Fish, crocodile and snake are the animals, you can say that they are eating plant as well as the animals. Or you can say these three are living in water. Right? Even snakes can live in water. Right? But the sheep cannot. So which is the odd one out? Sheep. Next, zebra, giraffe, cow and tiger. Here the animals are given based on their eating habit. All first three, that is zebra, giraffe, cow, are herbivores. Right? Whereas tiger is, yes, carnivores. Right? Third one, duck, fish, penguin and lion. Right? I have just spoke the disorders. Right? That means I have not spoken it in order. Right? So you can say that duck, fish and penguin can swim while lion cannot swim. So lion is what? Different one. Right? Moving further to the E section, that is answer the following question in brief. What is the first one? What are amphibians? Right? Very small answers and very easy to understand. Amphibians are the animals which can live both on land as well as in water. Right? Like you can say frog, toad, salamander. If you remember, we have seen it in a hardword slide. Right? So they are what? They are amphibians. Next question. Name two animals that migrate in winter. We know that they migrate in winter to get the warmer places. Right? Examples are so many, but we have to write any two. So here I have written Siberian crane and Arctic tern. Right? Okay. Third one. Name two animals that breathe using their lungs and gills. We know that birds, reptiles and mammals can breathe through their lungs, whereas fish, tadpole, dolphins, right, and many other aquatic animals have gills. So two examples we have to write. So here I have written two examples in each category. Fourth question. Why sparrow can fly and ostrich cannot fly? Can you answer me this question? Yes. So I think you have guessed correctly. Sparrow have a very lightweight body and well developed wings. You know only that sparrow are very small in a size and they have a properly developed wings through which they can fly. But ostrich have large and heavy bodies, and of course their wings are also not developed properly. Right? If you have seen ostrich, right, they are the fastest animal on the earth running on their two legs. Right? And they have very heavy body, so they cannot fly. And of course their wings are not developed in such a way which can help them to fly. So sparrow can fly but ostrich cannot. Right? Next question. Does the shape of a bird's beak affect the kind of a food it eats? If you will observe the bird even in the picture, not in reality, then you will see that every bird's beak is different. Right? You cannot say that the beak of an eagle and a sparrow is similar. Right? So beaks of the birds are always different from each other. See, yes, the shape of a bird's beak affect the kind of a food it eats. That means the shape of the beak is also affecting that which type of a food they are eating. If they are taking only small insects or fruits or small leaves, then their beak will be small and straight. If they are eating the flesh, right, they will have hooked beak, that is curved beak. Right? This we have seen in the first chapter also. Right? So yes, it affects. Next, define the term trachea. Not trachea, but it is trachea. Right? Trachea in a simple word means windpipe. Right, but here we have to understand in the meaning of spiracles. What is that? Spiracles present inside the insect's body lead into a network of tube. We know that spiracle is what? It's a kind of a organ present inside the insect to breathe. Right, so it is connected to a network of a tube which is present all over the body of insect, and this tube is called trachea. That means all the tubes are connected to one main tube, and that main tube is connected to spiracles. So that main tube is known as trachea. Right? Next, what are aerial animals? What is the meaning of aerial animals? The animals which can fly. Right? You can say all the birds, most of the birds. Right? Next, what is migration? Give any two examples of animals that migrate. Right? We know what is the migration meaning. The large scale movement of animals in search of favorable conditions is called migration. Right? In search of favorable conditions means food, temperature, and laying eggs or giving birth. Right? These are the three main conditions in which they are migrating thousands of kilometers. The examples of animals which is migrating annually: Siberian crane, Arctic tern. Now kids, in the previous slide there was one mistake in the spelling of Siberian. Right? So you will do this. This one is the correct answer. This one is the correct spelling. Okay? Now as you are grown up you can understand. Fine. Moving further to the E section. That means answer the following questions in detail. Now as you have also grown up in a height, answers भी height में बड़े हो चुके हैं. Right? Some of the answers will be long and you have to learn it. Okay? The first question is, what is the difference between forelimbs and hind limbs of animals? Can you say? Because it was also there in the glossary portion. Just guess it. Yes. The front limbs are called forelimbs. Right? Which is also known as a front legs. Right? In human the front legs has been converted into hands. Right? The back limbs are also called hind limbs, which is known as back legs. Right? So these are the meaning of forelimbs and hind limbs. Moving further, why is camouflage important for survival? Now you know only what is the meaning of camouflage. hiding trick. Hide yourself in such a way that you are matching to the background, so no one can see the difference, right? So that is what it is, camouflage. And yes, it is important for animals to survive. Even Indian army and many of the armies are also doing camouflage, right? So they can hide themselves. See, camouflage means the way in which some animals are colored and shaped so that they cannot be easily seen in their natural surroundings. That means their body is totally mixed up with the background colors, right, or natural background surroundings, right? Why it is important? But it prevents the animal from being seen by its predator. Predator means hunter, shikari, right? So they can save their life from the predator by doing the trick of camouflage. Next, write some of the special features of feathers, right? There are so many, but here we are writing one, that birds have feathers that keep them warm as well as help them to fly, right? It's very easy. Next, what is the role of hemoglobin in the blood? What is the color of our blood? Red. But who gives it a red color? Hemoglobin, right? Hemoglobin is a pigment which gives red color to the blood, that we all know, right? Next one. Describe the features of birds that help them to fly. There are so many features we have understood, right? First one, a streamlined body, that means a body which is narrow from front and back and swollen from the middle like a boat. Forelimbs modified into wings, the way it is modified in human body in hands, same way forelimbs are modified in wings. Hollow bones that make the body light. When they are flying in the air, the hollow bones are having holes on it, will make their body too much light in a weight, so that they can fly too high as well as too fast and to the long distance, right? Strong chest muscle that provide energy for flying. They have a one muscle, or you can say bone, in the chest region which give them energy to fly. Then a tail to change the direction while flying, right? The way fish is having a fins, tail fins to change its direction, same way here the tail present in bird's body will help them to change the direction. Clear? Last one, claws that help them to walk on the ground and sit or perch on a tree branches, right? They have claws, panjo, through which they can walk on the ground, right? And they can sit and they can hold, they can have the better grip on the branches, right? So these were some features. Next, snakes do not have limbs, yet they are able to move from one place to another. How? See, snakes do not have limbs means snakes do not have legs, but still they are moving. Why? See here. Snakes do not have legs, but they have scales on the underside of their body. Niche ni baju, right? They have scales. Then their muscles are very strong and they have a flexible backbone, right? You can see that when the snakes are moving, they crawling in zigzag manner, right? That is just because of the flexible backbone, that is spinal cord. All these features help them to grip the ground and move, right? Because of the scales and because of the flexible backbone and strong muscles, they can move easily, right? Okay. Seventh one. Describe the process by which insect breathe. We have understood that spiracles are present, which is connected to trachea. This trachea will get the air from the spiracles, and oxygen will be absorbed by their body, and of course carbon dioxide will be removed by their body through spiracles, right? So this we have understood. You can write answers in your own words also if you have understood the chapter, right? It is not like that you just have to mug up everything. Rattu popat nahi banna hai hame, right? Let's go to the next. Explain the role of blowholes in whales and dolphins. We know that whales and dolphins are living in water, right? They cannot take oxygen directly from the air, right? So they cannot breathe underwater. So they have to come on the surface of a water to breathe. But how do they breathe? They breathe with the help of a blowhole, right? Which is present on the head. They are breathing oxygen and they are removing carbon dioxide. But when they are removing carbon dioxide, they also leave some of the water from their body, right? So this also we have studied. I am explaining in general manner, right? Because I have written all these answers directly from the textbook. Last question. This is the question where you just have to use your brain. See, when human beings drown in the ocean, cannot survive, whereas mammals like whale and shark can survive. Explain. Drown means डूबी जाओ, right? Then why humans cannot survive but only mammals like dolphins and whales and shark can survive? See here. Because whale and shark have blowhole and gills respectively. That means whales have blowhole where shark have gills. They can remove the oxygen and eliminate waste gases, right? They can take oxygen as well as they can also remove some of the oxygen and other gases like carbon dioxide. Eliminate means remove. They can remove the waste gases and unused oxygen. Humans do not have gills. As you know that we don't breathe through gills, we breathe through lungs. So humans do not have gills and we cannot extract oxygen from water. That means we have a habit to take oxygen directly from air. We cannot take oxygen from water, right? Extract, I hope you know the meaning, right? Extract means to take out, right? So if we do not have a capacity to take out oxygen from water, how can we survive, right? So humans cannot survive in water. Clear? So this was your textual exercise portion, or you can say assessment zone. I hope you have understood. So kids, as you have completed watching this video, you must have understood what to write and how to write, right? Today you are going to get the worksheet related to the textual exercise, and on which day you have to submit, that also mentioned in the worksheet, right? It will be also there in the worksheet. Now with this session, today I am taking a leave. In the next session we are going to start our next lesson, our new lesson, right? So till that time, please stay safe, stay at home. Bye bye.